I lost my translator. Je vais inviter Joël Rongier, donc c'est un ancien président de l'association française qui gère le château. C'est aussi un des responsables de l'église de Mâcon.
So I'll invite Joël Rongier, who used to be the president of still the same organization, and he's also the president of the Mâcon Church.
La Burgondie vous salue.
Burgundy Saint-Albain.
Je vais juste garder le chapeau pour les premières phrases.
I'll just keep my hat for the first few sentences.
Et après je l'enlèverai, parce qu'en France c'est impoli de garder le chapeau à table quand on est en communauté.
Then I'll take it off because in France it's unpolite to keep a hat on when we're at the table or in public.
La légitimité d'être derrière ce micro aujourd'hui est moindre par rapport à beaucoup d'autres qui auraient pu être là et vous annoncer des choses qu'ils ont vécues ici.
So I don't feel fully legitimate being behind the microphone because many others could have been at this place.
Mais je suis là.
But here I am.
Je vais raconter un peu ma vie.
So I'll tell you a bit about my life.
Alors déjà, bien sûr, de dire bonjour à chacun et à chacune parce que c'est important d'être personnel.
So first I'd like to say a personal hello to each and every one of you.
Et vous remercier d'être là, bien sûr.
And thank you for being here today.
Remercier Dieu pour ce ministère d'accueil formidable qui a été le château et qui va rester dans les cœurs d'après ce qu'a dit David à l'instant même.
And I want to thank God for this incredible ministry that has been the Chateau, and that, like David just said, will stay in many people's hearts for many years.
Et je poursuis simplement ce qu'il a dit aussi en disant, voilà, même la fermeture n'arrêtera pas l'œuvre commencée ici, car elle est ancrée profondément dans une vie nouvelle pour les personnes, et cette vie était voulue par notre Seigneur Jésus-Christ.
And I want to echo his words in saying that this will not stop today, and what was put in people's lives will continue on for many years to come.
Je suis aussi là au nom de Martine,
So I'm also here to represent my wife, Martine,
à qui je demande souvent de prier pour moi quand je suis derrière le micro.
who I always ask to pray for me when I'm up front in front of the microphone.
Tom Julien posait la question, quel est l'endroit le plus important ce matin pour vous?
Tom Julian often would ask, what is the most important place for you today?
Et tout le monde disait, c'est d'être ensemble, c'est l'endroit où nous sommes, la cathédrale, c'est celle-là.
And everybody would say it's the fact that we're together, it's the place, the cathedral, this or that.
Et à la fin, elle disait, bon, allez, j'ai la réponse. L'endroit le plus important sur cette terre, actuellement, dans ces secondes que nous vivons, c'est l'endroit où est ma femme.
And Tom would say the place that's the most important in the world right now at this very second is the place where my wife is.
Le château a ouvert une ère nouvelle pour la France et l'Europe en 1964 avec l'arrivée des Juliens.
So the Chateau opened a new page in 1969 when the Julians, 64 when the Julians came to the Chateau.
Et je suis très content que notre maire, Marc Dumont, ait parlé de toutes les personnes qui sont passées par là parce que, franchement, vous êtes des gens admirables. Je suis même là ému de me dire c'est toi qui parles, c'est eux qui font le boulot.
He's really thankful also for what Mr. Dumont, the mayor, said about all these people coming through the Chateau gates, and he's really thankful to be able to represent these people today.
En 1964, j'avais juste, est-ce que je dois le dire, 13 ans.
He was only 13 years old in 1964.
Et ce que je connaissais à l'époque n'était pas très positif dans la région.
And what he knew about religion wasn't positive.
Il y a un mot qui revenait dans les conversations de tous les religieux du coin, c'est le mot secte.
And there is one word that was in all the a lot of people's mouths at that period. It was the word cult.
Et à 13 ans, on n'a pas envie d'être enfermé dans un endroit avec des illuminés.
And when you're 13, you don't want to be locked up in a place with a bunch of crazies.
Donc on se tenait à l'écart.
So we stayed away from the chateau.
En 1969, juste quelques petites années plus tard, nous avons monté un petit groupe de chanteurs, de musiciens à Mâcon, qualifiés d'anarchistes par la presse de l'époque.
So in 1969, we started a musical group that the local press called anarchists.
Et contre toute attente pour nous, on a été invités ici au château à chanter, à donner un concert.
And against all odds, we were invited to the chateau to give a concert.
Donc on peut dire que les illuminés avaient l'esprit ouvert.
So you could say that the crazies had an open mind.
Ils n'étaient pas enfermés sur eux-mêmes, et non seulement pas enfermés sur eux-mêmes, mais capables d'écouter même l'inverse de ce qu'on leur apprenait dans la Bible.
And not only were they have an open mind, but they were even ready to hear the opposite of what was written in their Bible.
Nos chansons étaient contre Dieu.
Our songs were against God.
Nos chansons pouvaient heurter profondément les cœurs.
Our songs could hurt some people's hearts.
Le concert a eu lieu et on a été accueillis comme des rois.
The concert happened and we were welcomed like kings.
Et c'est une qualité qui est demeurée depuis 60 ans, on va dire.
And this welcome is a quality that has gone on for over 60 years.
L'accueil.
Welcome.
Pour être poli, j'enlève mon...
I'll try and be polite. Take off my hat.
En 1979, 10 ans plus tard, on est invité ici, peut-être là, vous allez être surpris, avec Martine, ma tendre épouse, et notre enfant, par mon frère, pour une journée champêtre.
So in 1979, they were invited by his brother to a day out in the countryside here at the chateau.
À peine arrivé, on a été accueillis par un jeune frère turbulent.
We were welcomed by a brother who was kind of making some trouble
Que nous ne connaissions pas,
that we didn't know.
c'est important, et qui nous dit vous devez donner votre vie à Christ, sinon vous irez direct en enfer.
And he told them, you have to give your life to Christ, otherwise you're going straight to hell.
Je pense qu'on a fait demi-tour de façon supersonique.
They turned around as fast as they could and left.
L'accueil n'est pas toujours celui-là.
That's not the welcome he's talking about.
Heureusement, mon frère et ses amis, Gérard en a parlé tout à l'heure dans la vidéo, ils n'ont pas lâché, ils n'ont pas baissé les bras quant à nous annoncer l'évangile.
So thankfully, his brother and some Christian friends didn't give up on them and didn't stop telling them about the good news of Christ.
Et en 1980, on a assisté à un culte de Pâques ici dans le réfectoire.
In 1980, they were at a Easter ceremony here at the chateau.
Il y avait des diapositives, parce que de mon temps, c'était des diapositives.
So back then there were slides, because at the time they were slides.
Bien entendu, lorsqu'on montre les images de Jésus-Christ sur la croix, c'est difficile de résister et de rester stoïque.
When you see the picture of Jesus Christ on the cross, it's hard to resist and to be stoic.
Et voilà pourquoi, à plus de 30 ans, donc on va dire avec 30 ans de perdu,
And this is why after 30 years, after 30 lost years,
notre cœur s'est ouvert à un Dieu vivant,
our hearts open to a living God,
un Dieu ressuscité,
a God that came back from the dead,
qui est avec nous à chaque instant et
who's with us at each moment,
qui permet une relation avec lui.
and who permits a relationship with Him.
Ainsi commence notre vie de château.
This is how our chateau life
Et tout
started.
à l'heure, Marc a fait le tour un peu de toutes les activités qui ont eu lieu là. Donc je ne vais pas les répéter, ça permettra de gagner quelques minutes pour le suivant.
So the mayor gave a list of some of the activities and things that took place, so he won't repeat all that was said.
On a juste été, on va dire, animés du même esprit d'accueil que nous avons reçu nous-mêmes.
they were really animated with the same spirit of welcome that had welcomed them.
Et on est passé peut-être d'une relation inter-Burgondie ou inter-bourguignonne à une relation internationale.
And they, instead of just having friends from Burgundy, they started having friends from all over the world.
Et comme je le disais tout à l'heure, je suis encore très ému d'avoir pu rencontrer et vivre avec, et parler avec, et vivre ma foi aussi avec tous ces amis qui ont servi le château ici de façon, j'allais dire, conséquente, techniquement et aussi dans leur foi.
So I just want to re-say how thankful I am to have been able to live and to share my faith with so many people who invested technically, materially, time, and so many other things here at the château.
L'ouverture du château vers l'extérieur, contrairement à ce que j'avais vécu au début, c'est vraiment ce qui a précédé à l'organisation du château. Et même Marlène Weaver était, je crois, président de l'amicale laïque de Saint-Albain pendant un temps, il me semble, hein, vous nous le confirmerez. Ce qui montre bien d'ailleurs que la laïcité est un mot important et qu'il faut la conserver. Et elle est faite de tous ceux qui peuvent se rassembler.
So being open to the exterior was always something at the heart of what the Chateau wanted to be doing. And even Marlon Weaver was the president of the village's amicale laïque. Laïque, I have a little blank, so it basically means secular, yes, so the secular organization of the village. And so he just wants to say how secularism is important to permit all religions and all faiths to be expressed.
On ne peut pas passer outre évidemment les 10 années de crèche vivante dans la chaleur, le soleil, le vent réchauffant nos côtes.
He also thinks of the 10 years of the live nativity with sunshine and good weather and warmth.
Et remercier le Seigneur pour les 7 à 8 000 visiteurs dont le cœur a été touché, enfin parfois.
And thank God for the 7,000 to 8,000 visitors who were able to come through the château.
J'ai eu le privilège de présider pendant 7 années l'association qui gère le château.
So I was president of the Chateau Association for 7 years.
7 ans consacrés à mettre en place les normes pour handicapés par exemple.
There was the handicap project.
Travailler aussi sur les finances pour l'avenir.
Setting a solid financial basis for the future.
Et ce que je retiens dans ces 7 années, c'est la bienveillance de la mission Encompass.
And he's thankful for the support and good thoughts of the mission Encompass.
Avec le prédécesseur de David Hawson, qui est Dave Giles.
Through Dave's guides in particular.
Et avec lui, on a pu tenir le coup.
And thanks to them, we were able to weather the storm.
Parce que l'équipe qu'il a autour de lui en France est une équipe super fondée.
Because he has a very strong team.
Avec Paul, avec
in France with Paul and many
Florent,
others,
etc.
Florent, many others.
Alors, est-ce que les activités ici, qui ont eu lieu ici, ont été utiles? Ont-elles permis une avancée de l'évangile en Bourgogne et en Rhône-Alpes?
So the question we could ask is, was the activities here at the Chateau worthwhile? Did they help the gospel be brought to this region?
La réponse est, par rapport encore une fois à ce qu'a dit David tout à l'heure, la vision.
So the answer is yes, like David Lawson told us, the vision.
Et cette vision consistait, entre autres, à la construction d'églises conduites par des Français.
And so this vision was in particular the building of churches that would be led by the French.
Quantifier les personnes qui sont passées là et qui ont eu le cœur touché par l'évangile, c'est impossible.
It's impossible to know how many people were touched by the gospel here.
Mais Dieu sait.
But God knows.
Une page se tourne aujourd'hui.
A page is being turned today.
Et nous prions depuis un certain temps et on va continuer à le faire tout à l'heure. Il y a un espace-temps pour ça. pour un avenir à ce château.
And so we're going to continue to pray for whatever the future is for this place, the château.
Et ce n'est pas Marc Dumont qui dira le contraire. Un château comme celui-là, animé, c'est important pour une commune.
And it's not the mayor that would say the opposite, that a château with much life is important for the life of the village.
Et si nous sommes dans l'émotion de quelque chose qui semble se terminer,
And even if we have a lot of emotions and mixed feelings about something that's coming to an end,
nous sommes aussi dans l'enthousiasme de tout ce que le Seigneur va faire avec ce qui a été fait pendant 60 ans ici.
we're also just have much hope and joy in what the Lord will be doing after these in the future from what he did here.
Merci pour votre écoute.
Thank you for listening. Just a small video in English. Donc j'avais promis une petite vidéo en anglais. Donc c'est le moment. Voilà.
Almost 60 years ago, Saint-Albain embarked on a new adventure in its long history. It found itself invaded by a fresh generation of young people, drawn to this old property by a pursuit of their own identity and a thirst for eternal values, in a society where a secular worldview had seriously impaired belief in a personal God. The chateau has often been termed a bridge between people from all kinds of backgrounds. Through the years, hundreds of young people, and people less young, have entered its gates, attracted by the hope that there is something more to life than what they were living. Being accepted at the chateau as persons of value, many went on to discover their true value in an encounter with God.
First came individuals with a vision to love France and the French in the name of God. They gave up family, country, time, money, and energy to bring God's love to a country who no longer knew what that looked like.
They loved people, loved on people. Lifelong friendships blossomed. Some found God in the process. God's word made its way to hands, homes, and hearts.
The result of these relationships were new communities who loved God and wanted to gather to learn more about Him. Local churches in Mâcon, Châlons, Le Creusot, Mont-Soleil-Mines, Dijon, and Lyon appeared on the map, leading more and more people to hear about God.
The chateau was also a safe gathering place for children and young people. Hospitality has been key to the chateau. No matter your background, you are welcome here.
Lives have been changed here. Engagements, weddings, baptisms. People have made life decisions here, and God has been present for all of them. Many people all over the world have heard about the chateau and have benefited from the work in one way or another.
Who would have thought that this medieval castle would have such an international reach?
For me, a special moment at the chateau is being able to open it to French friends or friends from the village, and then just being able to sit around and talk with them and just have some special time with them.
Favorite moment at the chateau for me were the little things. I remember doing things like hanging up laundry and looking down over the valley, the beautiful Saône Valley.
One of the favorite moments at the chateau for me was when my youngest son, Matthew, and his wife, Lise, got married there. It was a beautiful setting, beautiful day, and one that I will always cherish.
Je me souviens du Festival de la musique chrétienne au château en 1975 où le Seigneur m'a conduit à le servir en France.
L'un de mes meilleurs souvenirs du château vient du congrès de nos églises en 1986, où Thierry Julien et Denis Martin ont monté une comédie musicale, La course commence, avec les jeunes de Châlons et de Mâcon. La comparaison entre la vie chrétienne et une course à pied qui demande du courage et de la persévérance m'a donné beaucoup de joie et du punch.
The Chateau de Saint-Albain is the place where I first responded to God's invitation to join him in his work in France. It's a place where the iridescence of God's presence, not commonly seen in our natural world, causes many of us to stop in wonder, saying, "Surely the Lord is in this place."
The Chateau helped us plant a church in Monceau, and now here in Paris-Monial, our point of light.
My favorite moment at the Chateau was stepping on the Chateau grounds for the first time in May 1976 as a short-term missionary. During that year, I began to discover the Chateau walls that speak that I had read about.
Some of my most cherished memories were around teens who would come to work at the Chateau, a lot of them from America. And especially early on, we would take all of our Wednesday days off and go down and help a team that had come from Findlay and other places in Ohio to build what we called the new building. Those were great times of working together.
A cherished memory for me is really many, many memories of driving back to Dijon after an event at the Chateau with a feeling of well-being that God was working in our midst, and that what we had just experienced at the Chateau was always part of a larger picture.
Tom Julian challenged us to serve Christ in France. I sat in tears on the Chateau wall where I gave up my small aspirations. In return, God gave Louise and me the immense privilege of serving Jesus, the King of Kings, here in La Belle France.
So many moments over the last 6 years have been very special to us. But one was when there was a gathering of about 70 young people here to worship, fellowship, serve, and even have baptisms in a cold January day.
I experienced the welcome of the Jones, John and Sherry, who welcomed Jessie, my daughter Eleanor, and myself at the Chateau the first time, and I'll just never forget it. And it really set the tone for the rest of our time as a team.
Late one evening, I came into the dining room to gather dishes, and I saw several careless workers huddled over their coffee cups, still savoring their home-cooked meal and building relationships, and I thought, this is the Chateau, and I can contribute to it.
For me, the Chateau has a special place in my heart because it was there that I learned a new language, a new culture, and a new way of even looking at the world. And of course, I met so many wonderful people. But I guess the Chateau will have a special place in my heart always because that's where I met this guy.
Without a doubt, the best time I had at the Chateau was when our kids were at camps, weekends. I could see them just enjoy their relationship with other young brothers and sisters, friends, that really meant a lot over the years as they became themselves disciples of Christ.
A favorite moment at the Chateau for me is sitting in the petit salon in the evenings and playing games or just talking with friends late into the night.
The Chateau means a lot to me, and it's hard to put it in several words, but I would just say, most importantly, it was a time to reconnect with missionaries that we didn't always see on a regular basis, that would come for different things, and also for believers from the other churches. We were there to encourage and to edify each other.
It meant having an opportunity to sit down at meals with some really great French spiritual giants.
The foundation and life of ministry by showing me the power of a hospitality that is accepting and values each person, and the importance of bringing people together to form relationships around shared accommodations, interests, experiences, and meals.
A place where I could grow in the Lord. Actually, my first theological classes took place at the Chateau, so it is. It reminds me of training and the possibility to grow. The Chateau for me was a place where you could get a break and focus with others on a topic to study or on a just develop some fellowship.
The Chateau provided innumerable occasions to sit around and share and to listen to friends' faith stories and to sharpen, encourage, and pray for one another.
Wonderful people who came to spend time at the Chateau and wonderful people who came to help at the Chateau. Both were just such a privilege.
Also a great community and a lot of moments in community.
place of welcome and connection with people and with God.
An avenue of discovery, seeing God at work in the lives of his people, including me.
It's been a place where so many people have grown closer to God in their faith or discovered faith, and to be able a part of that place which has been so key, so central in introducing people to faith has been a real privilege.
Pour moi, le château était le cadre formidable de multiples week-ends de jeunes et de jeunes adultes où ensemble nous avons pu grandir dans la foi.
It was a place that brought people together. Going to the chateau always meant seeing people that I wouldn't otherwise get to see. It's also the place where my husband grew up, so it's going to always have significance in our family.
The Chateau is a place where Tom Julian's vision of a relational bridge has been played out in a beautiful setting. 3 words that describe the Chateau are
old,
tranquility,
beautiful,
otherworldly,
memories,
friendly,
home,
a gospel bridge,
faith,
and identity.
and work. Lots of work.
Training,
A bulwark.
Encounters,
hope,
Inspirational transcendent encounter.
la bonne cuisine des weavers,
encouragement,
Special.
And a meeting place.
an adventure of a lifetime. It's been amazing.
We rejoice in the visible and present fruits here today and look forward to the great things God has in store for this region, this country, and this continent. This place and all the people who have given of their time, energy, and skills have made it possible for other good works to exist, grow, and carry out the love of God far beyond these beautiful stone walls.
Well, among the earliest reinforcements to come to help the Julian family were
Parmi
two
les
young
renforts
men.
qui sont venus le plus rapidement pour porter secours au travail des Juliens,
Their names were Larry DiArmi and Dan Hammers.
il faut nommer Larry DiArmi et Dan Hammers.
And they arrived within the first year in which the Julians established themselves here.
Et ils sont arrivés la première année de l'installation des Juliens ici.
They were both men who were in seminary.
Ces 2 hommes étaient en formation dans la faculté de théologie.
They originally committed to come for 3 months.
Et leur engagement initial était de venir pour 3 mois.
And ultimately they stayed for 15 months to help put this place into order.
Et puis finalement, ils ont décidé de prolonger jusqu'à 15 mois pour essayer de mettre en ordre ces lieux.
Both of those families would return, well, these men would return later with wives to serve in France.
Mais plus tard, ces hommes sont revenus avec épouse pour pouvoir servir en France.
And so we're very happy to have the Hammers here
Et
for
nous
us.
sommes très reconnaissants de la présence des Hammers qui sont avec nous aujourd'hui.
And we would appreciate if they would come up so we can also give them a special gift. Dan and Sherry Hammers.
Dan et Sherry Hammers, si vous voulez bien venir. Nous avons un petit cadeau pour vous. Merci.
I can't accept this without recognizing
Je ne peux accepter sans reconnaître
2 very special friends.
des amis qui me sont très chers.
Daniel et Julia Dutroux.
Daniel et Julia Dutroux qui sont ici,
were our companions,
qui ont été nos compagnons de
They lived
service.
here with us. We sang together.
Nous avons
We
chanté
sang
ensemble,
Daniel's
nous avons
songs.
servi
We traveled
ensemble,
together.
nous avons chanté
And,
les chants de
they
Daniel,
were
nous avons
tremendous
voyagé ensemble.
encouragement to us, so I want to say thank you to
Et ils ont été un encouragement immense pendant toutes ces années avec nous.
also recognize Marlon and Sue Weaver, who were in charge of the chateau for so many years.
Nous voulons également souligner la présence et le service pendant tant d'années de Marlin et Sue Weaver.
So Marlon and Sue,